Top 10 gemstones that can make you rich. What if the most valuable investments on earth weren't stocks, gold, or real estate, but gemstones? Not the ordinary kind you see behind glass counters, but stones so rare, so geologically improbable, that owning one could elevate you beyond luxury into legacy. In this video, we're diving deep into the world of ultra-rare gemstones, stones that aren't just beautiful, but powerful. Stones that have outperformed the stock market, made millionaires out of miners, and vanished into the private vaults of billionaires and kings. Every one of them has one thing in common. They have the potential to make you rich. Don't forget to press and hold that like button, leave a comment, and hit subscribe before we begin. Ranked 10th, Tanzanite, the one-generation gem. Tanzanite is the gemstone every sharp-eyed investor should pay attention to, because it's not just mesmerizing, it could make you rich. Discovered in 1967 at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro, Tanzanite exists in only one place on Earth, a geological fault zone covering less than 4 square miles in northern Tanzania. Experts call it a one-generation gemstone because only our generation can own it. After that, it could be gone for good. Mining analysts estimate that all known Tanzanite deposits may deplete completely within 10 to 15 years. Right now, top-grade Tanzanite over 5 carats sells for around $1,000 to $1,500 per carat, depending on depth of color and clarity. But here's the kicker. Tanzanite is still undervalued compared to equally rare stones like Alexandrite or red beryl. That's the sweet spot for any savvy investor. Buying before the rest of the world catches on, especially since Tanzanite's electric blue-violet hues and its rare trichroic optical effect, where the stone flashes in 3 distinct colors depending on light and angle, make it irresistible to collectors. Consider Tanzanite more than a gemstone. It's a natural stock, a tangible, appreciating asset that isn't tied to the whims of Wall Street. And if you're looking for a stone you can wear around your neck today, and possibly trade for a luxury car tomorrow, Tanzanite deserves a prime spot in your investment portfolio. Ranked 9th, Spinel, the million-dollar mistake that paid off. Most people have no idea this gem exists, and that's exactly how it became one of the most valuable secrets in fine jewelry. For centuries, Spinel was mistaken for ruby, not because of deception, but because of how incredibly similar they look. The Black Prince's ruby, sitting in the British imperial crown? That's not a ruby, it's Spinel. It is the same with the Timur ruby, once believed to be a royal Burmese treasure, Spinel. The mistake wasn't just royal, it was global. And for Spinel, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. You see, Spinel doesn't just mimic rubies, it outperforms them in ways only gemologists truly understand. It's softer in brilliance, yet often cleaner in clarity. It occurs in various colors, from flame red to cobalt blue and even vibrant lilac. But here's the financial kicker. High-quality Spinel, especially vivid reds and neon pinks, can now fetch $3,000 to $10,000 per carat, and the price is climbing fast. Why? Because collectors are finally waking up. The moment people learned those historic rubies weren't rubies at all, they didn't lose value, they gained mystique. Spinel transformed from an error into an elite insider's gem. Auction houses have seen rare Spinel pieces triple in value within a decade, especially those with royal provenance or Burmese origin. And while everyone's chasing diamonds, emeralds, and sapphires, the smart money is turning to underrated legends like Spinel before the rest of the world catches on. Sometimes the best investment is the one everyone else still thinks is a mistake. Ranked 8th, Black Opal. Lightning trapped in stone. They say fire and water can't coexist, but whoever said that never held a black opal. Found almost exclusively in the dusty outback of Lightning Ridge, Australia, black opal is the most visually spellbinding gemstone on Earth, a kaleidoscope of color trapped in volcanic rock. It doesn't just shimmer, it dances, pulses, and burns with flashes of green, blue, red, and orange, sometimes all at once, like lightning frozen in stone. Unlike other opals, which are milky or translucent, Black opal has a deep, dark body tone that makes its play of color explode with intensity. That dark base is a stage for nature's most hypnotic light show. And when the pattern is correct, broad flashes, rare reds, symmetrical fire, a single carat can be worth more than $15,000. Some museum-grade specimens have sold for over $500,000. Not because they're massive, but because they're unrepeatable. And here's the thing. No two black opals are alike. Each is a one-of-a-kind painting made by pressure, time, and chemistry, a visual fingerprint the Earth can never reproduce. That uniqueness, that's where the value is. Collectors know they're not just buying a gem, but acquiring an event. Something that only ever happened once, millions of years ago, and never will again. Black opal stands defiant, untamed, unpredictable, and irreplaceable in a market flooded with synthetic stones, lab-grown diamonds, and endless copies. The kind of gem you don't just wear, you witness. Ranked 7th, red beryl, rarer than gold, rarer than diamond, almost impossible to own. Statistically, you're more likely to find gold in the ground than a gem-quality red beryl. For every 150,000 diamonds mined, only one red beryl is found. It's over 1,000 times rarer than gold by occurrence. And even when it is found, the vast majority are too small, flawed, or fractured to cut. Only a handful of stones ever make it into the hands of jewelers. And those that do, they're worth every decimal of their rarity. Red beryl, sometimes called Bixbite, forms only under particular geological conditions. The right balance of beryllium, manganese, high temperature, low pressure, and trace mineral inclusions, all in volcanic rhyolite. There is only one commercial source on Earth, the Wah Wah Mountains of Utah, USA. The most enormous gem-quality red beryl ever faceted weighed just over 8 carats. That's not just rare, that's statistically impossible. So what does that mean for investors and collectors? It means that red beryl isn't just valuable, it's almost mythical. Top specimens can sell for $10,000 per carat, often higher. But price alone doesn't capture the reality. Even if you had the money, you'd likely never find one for sale. Most red beryl gems are privately held, passed between elite collectors, or locked in museum collections. In the open market, it's a ghost, whispered about in gemology circles, seldom seen. When a gem is this rare, this scientifically specific, and this unavailable, it stops being a commodity. It becomes a scientific anomaly that happens to be beautiful. Ranked 6th, Paraíba Tourmaline, the gem that electrified the billionaire class. This neon blue tourmaline, discovered in the late 1980s in the Brazilian state of Paraíba, doesn't just reflect light, it seems to generate it from within. Trace amounts of copper and manganese cause this rare chemical cocktail, which doesn't occur anywhere else on Earth at this intensity, to produce its vivid electric hues, ranging from glowing turquoise to fluorescent blue-green. The discovery of Paraíba Tourmaline was so visually shocking that gem dealers thought the stones were synthetic. No one had ever seen colors like this occur naturally. But they were real, and within years demand exploded. Even small stones under 2 carats can sell for $10,000 to $30,000 per carat. Larger specimens, easily over $50,000 per carat, and rising. At elite auctions, museum-grade Paraíba pieces have outperformed diamonds, sapphires, and emeralds. In 2020, a 6.6-carat Paraíba fetched nearly $90,000 per carat at a Swiss auction. That's not a gemstone. That's a Ferrari in your pocket. But here's the catch. Supply is vanishing. The original mines in Brazil are nearly exhausted. A few African sources have produced similar material, but connoisseurs can spot the difference. Brazilian Paraíba still commands triple the value, and it's becoming rarer by the day. Simple. You're not just buying a gem, you're purchasing entry into a class of assets typically reserved for the ultra-wealthy. It is the gem on red carpets, in royal vaults, or under armored glass at high-security trade shows. And when you finally find one, you're not negotiating the price, you're negotiating access. Ranked 5th, Jadeite, the gem that wore the crown before gold. In the West, diamonds are seen as the ultimate status symbol, but nothing compares to jadeite in the East, among emperors, dynasties, and billionaires. Jadeite is the rarest and most precious form of jade found in a few remote deposits in Myanmar. Its finest variety, imperial jade, glows with a deep, vibrant green so pure it seems lit from within. But jadeite isn't valuable just because it's rare. It's useful because of what it means. For thousands of years, jadeite has symbolized power, protection, and immortality in Chinese culture. It was worn by emperors, buried with royalty, and carved into heirlooms passed down for generations. In Confucian tradition, jade was said to embody the virtues of humanity, wisdom, courage, and integrity. Wearing it was not just to display wealth, but to represent philosophy. It doesn't just hold cultural weight, it has massive financial value. In 2014, a jadeite necklace, once owned by American heiress Barbara Hutton, sold for over $27 million at Sotheby's. That's more than $3 million per bangle. Today, top-tier jadeite can sell for $20,000 per carat or more, depending on color, translucency, and texture. And like fine art, its value appreciates quietly, steadily, and generationally. Unlike diamonds, which can be mass-produced in labs, high-quality jadeite cannot be replicated. There is no synthetic, no shortcut. Every piece is hand-carved, revered, and intimately linked to the people who wear it. And once it enters a private collection, it rarely resurfaces. Jadeite isn't just an investment. It's a legacy you don't own. You inherit. Ranked fourth, Alexandrite, the gem that changes color and fortune. Among Earth's rarest and most mesmerizing gemstones, Alexandrite doesn't just shine, it transforms. Under natural daylight, it glows with a bluish-green brilliance, calm and serene like a fine emerald. But step indoors under incandescent light, and the shift is nothing short of magic. The green vanishes, and the gem turns a deep red, wine-colored, sometimes even violet. The first time you see it happen, your eyes question your mind. It's not a trick, it's real. Alexandrite displays a phenomenon called color change, caused by how its unique crystal structure interacts with different wavelengths of light. Very few gemstones exhibit this effect. Fewer still do it with the drama and saturation of Alexandrite. It was discovered in the Ural Mountains of Russia in the 1830s and was named in honor of the young Tsar Alexander II. It became a symbol of the Russian elite almost overnight, a stone of contradiction and duality, red and green, war and peace, day and night. Today, the original Russian mines are long depleted, while smaller deposits have been found in Brazil, Sri Lanka, and East Africa. Fine quality Alexandrite, with substantial, vivid color change and high clarity, remains nearly impossible. Prices reflect this rarity. Top-tier stones often fetch $15,000 to $70,000 per carat, and their value has steadily increased as natural supply vanishes. But the true allure of Alexandrite isn't just its scarcity, it's the emotional reaction it creates. Alexandrite engages the mind, unlike most gems, which dazzle the eye. It surprises, it unsettles, it reveals a different truth depending on the light you see it in. And in that sense, it's not just a gemstone, it's a quiet enigma, a reminder that not everything valuable in life stays the same, and that some of the rarest things change. Ranked third, Musgravite, the $35,000 stone you've never heard of. Most people have never seen a Musgravite, and some have never heard the name. And yet, it's one of the rarest gemstones ever discovered and one of the most expensive. First identified in 1967 in the remote Musgrave Ranges of South Australia, Musgravite is a gemstone so elusive and geologically specific that for years only a handful of crystals, not carats but crystals, were known to exist. The entire global supply could fit in the palm of your hand. Musgravite belongs to the taphite family, a rare group of beryllium aluminum oxides. It forms under intense heat and pressure in metamorphic rocks. Even when geologists know where to look, it is rarely found in sizes suitable for fasting. And when is it? It's kept, collected, and never forgotten. The few cut specimens that reach the market sell for $35,000 per carat, some reaching even higher depending on size and clarity. But unlike other gems on this list, Musgravite's value isn't driven by beauty alone, but by access. This is a gemstone that lives in silence. It doesn't flood the auction houses. It doesn't sparkle on red carpets. It's whispered about at trade shows. It moves in private. Some people collect diamonds. Some people invest in Paraíba, Jadeite, and even Alexandrite. But the ones who own Musgravite, they don't buy it to be seen. They buy it to own something no one else ever will. Ranked second, Painite, the gem that was almost a myth. For decades, Painite existed as a scientific rumor. A rare mineral that, for over 50 years, only 2 specimens had ever been found. Not 2 carats, 2 crystals, total. British gemologist Arthur Payne discovered the stone in Myanmar in the 1950s. It was initially misidentified, and its atomic structure defied classification. It wasn't until years later that scientists realized they were looking at something entirely new, a baryte mineral containing zirconium, aluminum, and rare earth elements. That combination had never been recorded in nature before. For much of the 20th century, Painite was considered the rarest mineral on Earth. It was listed in the Guinness Book of World Records. Museums had fragmented. Private collectors had dreams. And then, silence. No more were found. No market, no pricing. Just a ghost of a gemstone science had barely understood. In the early 2000s, new sources of Painite were discovered in Myanmar, yielding crystals large enough to facet. But even now, faceted gem-quality stones remain incredibly scarce. Most are small, often under 1 carat, and deeply included. Yet the mystery, in the scientific prestige, drives prices into the realm of $50,000 to $60,000 per carat for top specimens. Painite isn't loved for its beauty. It's admired for its impossibility. This is not a gem you wear to a gala. This is a gem you own when you want to say, I possess something the earth almost refused to create. In the first place, red diamond, the billionaire's final obsession. Red diamonds don't compete with other gemstones. They transcend them. With a color so pure and intense that it almost defies logic, they exist in a realm where rarity becomes power. Not pink, not purplish. Authentic, blood-red diamonds are so vanishingly rare that fewer than 30 are known to exist on the entire planet. Most of them are under half a carat. A few sit in museum collections. The rest disappear into private vaults owned by people whose names you'll never hear. These diamonds don't get their color from impurities, like other fancy-colored stones. Their red hue is caused by a rare and complex deformation in the crystal lattice, a quirk of atomic structure that bends light in a way the Earth rarely allows. It's not color added. Its color was born out of a structural anomaly. And that anomaly commands a price, $1 million per carat, sometimes more. The most famous example, the 5.11 carat Musgravite red, sold for over $8 million. And if it were auctioned today, the price could be double or more. But red diamonds aren't truly about price. They're about access. They don't trade hands publicly. They don't appear in catalogs. There are no bidding wars, only quiet offers made behind closed doors. These stones aren't worn for display. They're locked away as symbols of absolute ownership. In the hierarchy of wealth, red diamonds aren't decoration. They're declaration. People say that wealth is measured in numbers, but sometimes it is condensed into the palm of your hand in the form of a small, silent, and priceless stone. The stone members you have just discovered are not just beautiful. We are crystallized time. The pressure of millions of years created a second that people cannot do a second time. If you ever have the opportunity to own one, know that you are holding more than just a piece of jewelry. You are making a significant financial decision. Let us know which resonates with you in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.